Y'all, y'all, y'all ready for this? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Welcome to the next episode of FriXion Max TraXion. Welcome, Aaron, to the potty. Number 13, unlucky for some, but I think lucky for us as we wrap up. Well, what are we wrapping up this week there, Aaron?
UTA. I think I'm just catching up on sleep, and I didn't even run. It was a great week, but it's a big week.
Oh, that's right. That was that running race up in the Blue Hills. And I dare say, are we going to say biggest trail event in the world for 2021?
Yeah, well, it's third biggest no matter what, but with how things are going overseas, it could be. And yeah, we missed it last year, but everyone was just stoked to be back there. And yeah, they did a fantastic job to put an event on that size with the restrictions and everything that's happened. It was great.
Yeah, definitely. I was well impressed. Like you said, I've just caught up on my sleep. But it's good to catch up with everyone, reminisce about 2019. And it was good. Yeah, all the friends were there. And to be honest, hats off to everyone that ran on the event. I mean, it was great to see everyone out there from the pointy end to everyone. It was fantastic to see everyone like putting in the hard yards. All the training had paid off. And I know I had some friends in there in the mid pack. They were giving it all. It's really good to see.
Yeah, obviously, we got some special guests tonight, but we were both there watching the last runners come in and see the sweeps come in, and those guys. That's a long, cold night for those guys this year. I was super impressed. Anyone who does that 100 Ks, but the ones that were out there for the full amount and did through the night. I talked to a few runners, and they had puffy jackets on, and it was proper cold.
Oh, yeah, I must admit it was freezing during the day. So,
well, I do see your beanbags there. What happened to our plan of sitting in the sun and relaxing on Saturday afternoon?
Well, that didn't really happen, did it? I think I got frostbite there on that. I can't
that
believe
was cold.
how much clothing I was wearing on that event. Yeah. Long johns and everything. It was absolutely crazy. To be honest, it's warmer than the Italian Alps at this time of year than in Katoomba. But in saying that, I think this was probably about the coldest race ever for them. But yeah, cool. So obviously there was a few races there. There was the 11, 22, 50, and I'm missing the stair race 951. But obviously the marquee event was the 100K. Any big standout highlights, Aaron, from the weekend that you want to sort of I suppose just tell the audience,
Yeah, look, all the races were great. I thought it was awesome in the 11 with Dave Byrne taking it to a few young guys and then banging heads and then coming out with the win, which is great. And a lot of young guys in the stair race too, chasing our runner, Mark Vaughan.
Oh yeah, Mark.
Yeah, so
bad boy, didn't he? But
yeah, that's just great. Great to see young runners coming through. Paige Penrose with the win in the girls in the 22 was awesome. And then but for me, I really liked the girls 50K race with Paige and Ruth just on the front, just battling all day. And Ruth got up for the win, and I guess a lot of pressure on her to pull that off, but she did it. But yeah, like for Paige to race her and to know that she's was in it and almost closed towards the end, and then Ruth was able to pull away. That was just great racing. And the men's is a little bit different, a few blow ups, a few things, and Tommy Brimelow came through for the win there, which was great as well.
Cool. I know talking to all the athletes, and obviously we followed the 50 around, so we saw them around the course, which was good to see. And I know the Paige and Ruth, they were having a bit of a ding dong battle all the way. I think what was Ruth's comments? Those bloody stairs.
Yeah. New Zealanders, they know mountains, but they don't have a lot of stairs, so they always. Ruth's world class. So if we see her here again, and we'd love to, she'll be better for it. She'll know what to expect. So it's great.
I know. Coach was pretty stoked with the win as well. I thought I'd just say that. Jono was very happy.
Yeah, he should be. He should be. What a coach to have. But I reckon if we want to talk the 100, we've probably got some special guests.
Well, let's bring them on in. We've got the winners for the 100 for both the men's and women. Letting him into the podcast. Here we go. Welcome, Matt, and welcome, Cecilia. Oh, we got a bit of a technical issue up there in Queensland.
Hello.
I think
we can hear you.
I'm listening.
You've got to turn your camera on. Hold up. How do you do that? You've got to.
Oh, we've got Matthew.
Oh, okay. Now we'll see.
Oh,
There
here we go.
Yay!
Welcome.
Couple of first time on the podcast and first time doing a Zoom and doing it.
Podcasting.
Let's see how we go.
Congratulations on getting the podcast and Zoom sorted. It looked a lot easier to run the 100Ks than do this by the sounds of it, but excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
Thank you.
So great to have you guys on the show. You're fully recovered. You up for another 100K race this weekend, I hear, or is it resting? What's the story?
Resting.
Resting. Oh, geez. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely resting as well.
Okay. Well, I thought you look so fresh after the weekend when we saw you across the line. Oh, Matt, you're a little bit pushing hard there, but I know you're having trouble drinking some Coke when we were trying to talk to you.
It is the wind chill. Like this hit so suddenly. Once I stopped exercising like that, I had no energy stores left in my body, so I just got cold really
quick. Yeah, I know when Aaron and I were standing up there, and obviously we were there with the COVID safe award ceremony, which was it was freezing. It was really cold. But then I saw Matt come in, and you look pretty good when you came in, but then it looked like you just within seconds your body wanted to shut down, and you were like, "Oh my, get me into warm conditions and stuff like that." But,
yeah, the amount of steps I ran during the race, and I couldn't get up the.
That's right. You almost tripped over the gutter. Just like, no, it was excellent stuff. Yeah,
one step too far.
Well, yeah, congratulations, guys, and thanks for taking the time to chat to us. Like we were really, really happy for you. I think both start lists were full of people who have won it before, full of people who and you guys were, just put it together, and that's what racing's about. There was a bit of unknown, I guess, with no UTA for 2 years. So for us, we've been sponsors of the event for 6 years now, I think. So we've come to know the UTA family, but we didn't know you guys, and we saw you out first time, relaxing on our Las Pativa beanbags out on Sublime Point Road. Matthew, you came through, and I've done a bit of cycling, and I was like, oh, this guy looks like he's strong. Like, you look like a cyclist, which we now know you're a triathlete.
Yeah.
And Cecilia, you came through. It was just when the storm hit. It was starting to snow, starting to, get pretty cold, and you were smiling and go, I don't know if you remember this, but you said, oh, it's all good as long as a tree doesn't fall on my head.
Oh, yeah, I said that because it was so windy. But I really enjoyed it because it's nice when I feel like it's me against the nature kind of thing.
Very good.
Is that
I enjoy that.
Is that from your Finnish background? You can sustain the cold conditions better than us Australian folk?
Maybe. I felt that maybe I had an edge there because, I don't know, some other people seemed really cold, but yeah, I felt a tiny bit, but it wasn't too bad.
Oh, no, that'd be a warm summer's day in Finland, wouldn't it? What was going on there? Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know, whoever wants to go first, for our viewers and listeners, tell us a bit about yourself, who you are and where you've come from, and what brought you to UTA 2021.
Ladies first.
Sounds
Me
good.
first.
Okay.
Huh?
Gentlemen first. All right.
No, you go. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
You go there, Matt.
You start.
Originally from Dubbo. Basically grew up there until I was 20. Typical sort of country upbringing up there. Involved in a lot of sport. Always enjoyed running, especially cross country running and stuff going through school. Played soccer and then started doing triathlon when I was 15.
Oh, cool. So were you allowed to play soccer out there, or is it all rugby league?
I copped a little bit of flack at school.
I was going to say, the round ball.
They never called it soccer at school. Yeah, they called it other names. But
Right.
Yeah. we're a PG podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, started doing trials when I was 15. I was always interested in it, just sort of never had sort of access to and then entry into it. And then it all sort of kicked off from there. Moved to Wollongong when I was 20. Pursuing a professional career as a triathlete, pretty much. And then I did race like professional for about 6 years ongoing. When I say professional, I mean like working alongside of racing.
Yep.
Sort of you made a bit of money, but you had to sort of support your habit as well. And yeah, so with that comes, I guess, a lot of experience racing. And my specialty was sort of a 4-hour race, a half Ironman.
Yeah.
I was sort of quite used to getting on the bike and hammering for 2 hours and then getting off where your legs just feel like jelly and having to run the half marathon. You've got no glycogen in your muscles and you just sort of
just smashing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Have you done some full Ironmans as well?
I've done one up in Cairns. It didn't go to plan up there. I just sort of had a bit of bad luck. I've got a flat tire on the bike, but overall I thought I was quite fit. But yeah, that didn't go to plan. And then I sort of in about 2016 I took a bit of a break from racing. Started studying to become a nurse.
Oh, cool.
And then just out of the blue, I actually have done this before. It's a repeat habit for me. In 2018, out of the blue, I went and did Gold Coast Marathon. Again, off like no training. I went up there and did that.
Oh, it's the best way. Off the couch. It's the way to go. That's my motto.
You don't even have time to get nervous, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
No swim and 180-kilometer bike ride first.
Yeah, exactly. I was a little bit heavier then.
Okay.
I was about 85 kilos, so it was quite hard to get around the loop. But yeah, that was actually my qualifying time for UTA.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Oh, cool.
I was very worried about not being in the first group. See?
Yep.
I think I did a 2:56 up at Gold Coast, and that I think that actually missed the criteria for Group 1.
Oh, okay.
I actually nominated myself in Group 1. I said, like, look, I think I probably should be in the front group.
Yeah.
And then they just put me in there. Yeah. So,
well, you proved them right, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So basically, the last sort of 3 years, I've sort of been back training quite consistently, racing off-road triathlons. So,
okay,
you still swim your mountain bike rather than road bike.
Oh yeah,
that's quite. It was quite tricky to learn mountain biking, and you're crashing quite a lot, and it's a different sort of skill. And then you're trail running, so like you would have seen pictures on my Instagram of me running through like rivers and up and down creek beds and stuff like that. So that sort of has become normal for me now over the last couple of years.
Oh, so running on road and running on trail is not a foreign thing due to this latest sort of
no, it's not a fad. I've always been trail running. Like even when I first moved to Wollongong, I used to do like long mountain runs up in the hills here.
The big K.
We don't have any hills.
Were you running up the big K and back?
Mount Kira, O'Brien's Road, which is very steep.
Yep.
Broke his nose. Yeah, there's quite a few I've done repeatedly pretty much. But
there's definitely some steep pinches around the Gong, isn't there? Just like onto the escarpment. I've ridden my bike.
If you're not prepared for them, you'll be walking. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No,
that's really interesting because that, I was trying to piece it together too, and I was like, well, Ironman connection, you're probably like an Ironman or something. You're used to it, and that filled in the blanks. And then I did a search, and I think the first thing it comes up with is Pellow wins Ballarat 70.3, and I was like, there you go. Yeah. So,
a little bit.
I didn't know that was that long ago. I didn't, I was Googling it away, and so you kind of led to this decision to do UTA.
Similar time last year, I raced the triathlon season in the summer, and then I found myself craving like longer runs as it got colder. Just felt like comfortable to be sort of as the weather cooled down. It just felt nice to be doing longer runs. So I remember doing some 40, 45k runs like sort of this time last year.
Yeah.
And then this year last year people were telling me, oh, you should enter UTA.
It's a bit of a step up from 50k to 100 though.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
They treat them tough out at Dubbo, Matt.
Oh,
you know.
geez, we're a bit soft, aren't we, in the big smoke? Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get.
That's a bit about me. So
We'll talk
Final,
about UTA tactics soon. But
Cecilia, what about you? What's your We've covered that you're finished, but now living in Australia and living on the Sunshine Coast. I saw that. What's your story? Like, were you doing Ironman 6 years ago as well, or a very different path?
No, not really. Well, I grew up playing soccer, and
oh, there's the connection. There we go. You got to play football to win.
Kids,
100.
get out and play football. Yeah.
exactly. And I did that until I was like 21, and then it was hard to fit everything in, like studies and all the training, and it's a bit of like continue or then just quit. And I quit 100%. And being used to training that much, you need to find something else to do. And I started running a little bit, like half marathon and then marathons, and then I went into some swim running. Did that, and that's, I guess, where the trail running comes in, because then obviously we run on the trails doing that. So and when I did that, I then came here to do my internship. So then the swim run stopped because you guys don't really have that here in Australia. I saw there's been one race like in Sydney, but I don't know, swimming in the Sydney Harbour and
we got these things called sharks in Australia.
exactly.
Jellyfish.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe not. And I was actually looking into doing some Ironman stuff, but then I really needed to buy a good bike and stuff and didn't really have the money. And so I started running, and then I saw like some trail events randomly on Facebook, and I signed up for one of them, and I don't know, I liked it. And
now being Scandinavian, surely you must have done a bit of orienteering back in your time there in Finland. You guys are notorious for running around the bush with your compass.
I know.
Forest with your compasses.
Forest, exactly. No, I haven't actually done any of that. In school, we did obviously on a few times, but never got into that because soccer was always my thing. So maybe I will try that sometime, because I did that with my friend when I went home over a year ago now, and that's a lot of fun. And I've checked out, they have a little bit of that here on the coast, but it's mainly like on the bike, I think.
Okay.
So it's not as big as it's at home, but
No, it's massive.
One of our La Sportiva athletes sometimes combines both. You'll do like 100-kilometer row gain. So you can have the map and the do the long run. So well, I did check, like some friends knew you from Queensland, which was really cool. And then you were a bit easier to find. Like I did a search on results on ITRA, which has your top results. So you had done UTA before. I think you were 13th a couple of years ago. 12?
Yes.
12? Yeah.
12.
And then look, I have it written down. Then you won 2019. You won Black Hole 50, which I know is a pretty tough event. Pretty warm always that time of year. And then you second last year, so must have been got in either before or after COVID. I guess Queensland was a little bit better.
Yeah.
And then recently, which is obviously often a lot of runners use it, you were 4th at 6 foot. So
I it myself that I did that.
Yeah, a little bit under the radar, I guess, because sometimes you hear the podium result, but you don't see more. And when I saw that, I was like, I had seen that name before, because the first time we saw you, like we commented before, out on course, and you just looked so happy to be out there with some crazy weather. And then everyone we spoke to after said, and I'd have to say that for the girls' race in general, you especially the podium, like we saw a fair bit of you. You were all pretty happy out there and chatty and saying hello. Matthew, the men's race was a little bit quieter.
A little bit more serious there in the boys. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't too much jibber jabbering going on course. I feel it was very serious. Yeah.
When you came past us on Sublime Point Road, I want to ask you,
How
because
far?
you were putting.
How far in was Sublime Point Road?
Just before Fairmont, so it's about 60k, was it? Is that right?
Yeah.
60-ish?
So just
Yeah.
after the okay. So
Is
that's
the
just after the 57k checkpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you were putting on your safety vest. I don't know if that was a requirement for the checkpoints, or because I was like, I think he's all right. This guy is flying. He's going to be finished before dark.
Oh yeah, and I was struggling with the vest. I couldn't put it on. Is that right?
Yeah.
You felt like you had it all over yourself when you're running up the road. We're going, oh, that's a bit strange.
Yeah, I actually had no idea. I was like, because I was running on the bitumen, I was like, am I meant to be wearing the vest?
Right, okay.
I was worried about being disqualified, DQ'd or something. So I kept on when I hit the roads. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Question answered. Because I didn't know if you were getting cold or if it was a restriction, because then no one else did it.
Was everyone else wearing their vest?
No, it's only at night. I think you have to wear your vest.
Only at night.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Oh, well, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's only when you're.
I think if you.
It's mainly for the back, back of the pack. The guys.
Oh, right. I put the vest on 4 or 5 times throughout the race.
Yeah.
It might have cost you.
You could have had a record. There you go.
Probably one of these Sydney runners who's just stooed you there. Don't forget to put that vest on, mate. But yeah, it was like a real contrast. And at that stage, I don't know, Cecilia was leading. So, that's hard too, being the front runner, knowing you're being chased. And I think maybe I'd have to, maybe you were fourth. You weren't.
Matt was third. You're third or fourth, I think.
I was fifth into the second age, the 57k checkpoint. I think I was.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And we did one. We sort of went down the cliff edge and back up once, and then we were on the road. I think, weren't we?
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Basically, we're back on bitumen.
I think I was in fourth when I went past you guys.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, no. I was quite impressed. So just from leading up to the event, obviously Matt, you just got off the couch and did a bit of running, and Cecilia, obviously you'd been 6 foot, so you were in the A grade, you've been doing. But I suppose race tactics. I mean, it's a bit different, Matt. You chased down the leaders, and obviously, and obviously you lit it up down Kadumba. For those people that don't know the course, it's like the back 22. And it's a 7k descent into the valley, and then you've got to it's not flat running to the end, is it? You've got you've got a few lumpy bits to come back into. And Cecilia, you led from where did you start leading the event? Because I know our runner Jill, she said she went out too hard and she was out front, and then she blew up and didn't have her wheat bix properly in the morning. And obviously you just ran through the field and took the lead, obviously around the halfway mark. Is that about right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I passed Sophie on the stairs at Nelly's Glen.
Okay.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, so you're out front for a long time as well. Was that did you feel them breathing down your neck, or were you still like, oh well, their history, I'm going to smash them, or were you a bit worried that they're going to catch her?
Me?
Yeah.
If they were no, I actually didn't care. I didn't think how far they were. I just ran my own race.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I didn't ask my crew either, because I don't know, it's funny. I just ran my own race and didn't think too much about it.
Well, it worked.
And for you, I suppose for you, Matt, were you asking your team how far you were back, or did you run a similar race to Cecilia? Just ran it and knew where you were going to go hard and stuff like that?
Yeah, not really. So my crew member, at the first aid station where you could get help, basically she just said I was in a good position. She didn't tell me where I was, so I was just like, okay, I think I was in 10th spot or something like that then. Mm-hmm. And then the next one, she gave me a time split. She said you're in 5th, or not a time split. She just gave me a position. She said you're in 5th.
Yeah.
And at that time, for the majority of the race, I tried not to focus on the competitors.
Yep.
I just sort of focused on pacing the 100K. because I'd never done the distance. I focused on pacing the duration of the race as best I could. And then, to be honest, in the actual phase where I did run through to the lead, my competitors actually came up to me sort of by surprise. Like I was having so much fun running that single track. That sort of that 20Ks from checkpoint, well, from the second sort of helpers checkpoint to the third one at the hospital.
Yeah.
That 20K, I had so much fun like running up and down the stairs over the rocks there on that single track that I didn't even. Well, I did know I was passing a couple, but I didn't even think about like where the leader was. I was just.
That's
I
cool.
was just flowing. It just felt really, like you're just sort of fatigued, but still feeling good. And it was just like, that was sort of like the high for me in the race.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, I must say that section of the course is beautiful. I think that top, I suppose, from the hospital, no, sorry, from the aquatic centre right down to the hospital. It's a nice bit of the course along the cliff top, isn't it?
You're going through like the weather changes as well. Like down the valley, it was sort of getting a little bit stagnant and a little bit hot. I was getting a little bit hot down the bottom, and then the cool breeze would hit you again, and it would feel nice. And then you'd be tearing down the next staircase, and you just sort of worked your way along. I also couldn't believe how many sets of stairs they'd managed to find along there. Like I was like,
no.
When I looked at the map before the race, I actually thought it just went back and forwards along the top. I didn't realize it went up and down.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I suppose it's.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. Like, because even where you are, Cecilia, like, I don't know, do you get up Mount Coolum, or do you get like, you don't really have a lot of stairs. A few in Noosa National Park, but there's not. I mean, Blue Mountains, those stairs are pretty unique to that course and that area. Like, it's amazing where they've built trails, or built tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I just have Mount Coolum, and yeah, for my first UTA, I did a lot of runs around there. This time a few times, but I felt like I didn't need to like work too much on it, and then I was kind of busy doing other stuff. So yeah.
Sorry, Karen.
No, well, so then you just like, you knew you were in good form, like you had a plan to race your own race, and you just executed it. So obviously, I've done some racing where sometimes you run a great race, but you've been 10th or something. But were you both happy with your races? Not just from the result. I mean, as in how you executed your plan. Like, were you happy? Like, did it go to plan?
Yes and no. I guess when you look at the result, you always have to say yes. But it sort of went to plan, but a different way. The race sort of happened differently to how I thought it would pan out. So I was originally thinking that I would be running quicker on like the fire roads and the flatter sections of the course compared to the other guys that I was racing, and that I would be sort of falling back a little bit on like the single track and the rock gardens and stuff like that. But I actually found it was the opposite. I was at the start, I was getting dropped on the fire roads, and I was making up time on the single track.
Oh,
that was back to front to what I actually thought.
Yeah.
The race was going to be like. I go, oh yeah, I'll attack them here on this fire road, but then I was getting dropped there, and I was actually making a minute up on the next downhill or coming down the road. So yeah,
right. That's cool. Sorry. So I saw the results there, Matt. I thought you smoked them all down into Kadumba on the fire trail, actually. So maybe not. It was all the technical single.
I was just rolling along there, but I was basically trying to get a little bit of respite before the hill. So I was very conservatively, but it's very hard to roll along in the hills when you're going downhill.
Yeah.
And I guess in that top 10 or so, everyone's got strengths, and there's some other speedy guys too. So it is, you're amongst some great. What about you, Cecilia? What's your strength? Is it the climbing, descending, the technical stuff? What's your? How did you think?
I feel like all the technical stuff I'm good at, and I love that. I feel like I can run for hours on just technical stuff, and my mind is just like so focused on that, and I love that. So I feel that is one of my strengths, and was on that day too. And then I don't know, like obviously I can always train more and become faster and stronger on the hills. But yeah, I guess, yeah, technical stuff and yeah, downhill running, I'm quite confident in that.
Yeah, cool.
I think that's was a real key to that race, was being able to handle the downhills.
The downhills. Oh, right. The technical downhills as well as the.
Well, just in general, like the impact from running down the hill, like that.
On your quads, yeah. Yeah, and I spoke to a couple of my mates, and they go, "Oh, my quads are still wrecked from."
That was, if there was anything that I trained for in the few weeks that I had before that race, it was for the downhills. Yeah.
All right. And Matt, had you run the course before stepping up onto it, or
I went for a quick weekend away to Katoomba about 3 months ago and walked down. I think it was the Grand Stair. I should forget the staircase, but it was from like the back of Lura.
Oh, were you down in the Lura Cascades and then
down to a big waterfall? Yeah.
Yeah, Echo Point, and so you'd never gone up further steps before?
No, my first time up further steps. I watched someone on YouTube run the steps on Thursday.
Yeah,
runner, and I thought I actually started getting really nervous when I watched the video. But that was my course recon. I just started searching UTA on YouTube.
Oh, there you go. Future participants out there don't need to run it. Just research it on YouTube. You'll be right.
I actually had a video done by Lucy Bartholomew in 2017 about how to pack your bag.
Oh, okay, right.
And I basically just copied everything that she said.
I did the same for my first 100.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Good one.
That was how I packed my bag. So.
Well, we'll have to put the link in the old video tube here, Aaron. How to pack one's bag.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Lucy's definitely done a few and knows what she's doing. So that's great. But do you like I guess the talk after it for you, Matthew, was like, and I think I saw we obviously shared your result and shared a photo, and I think one of your mates commented like, first trail race, goes and wins it. Like, so you've talked about triathlon and then off-road, like Xterra, duathlon, that sort of stuff. But just as in stand on the start line, was that your first trail run?
Yeah, that was my first trail race. I can't. I haven't. I've done a couple of park runs that started on the last, but that was
first trail race.
First trail race.
Nice work.
It really is incredible because like there's older races in Australia. Like 6 foot has got a huge prestige, but I guess at the moment in trail running in Australia, I think of UTA as like the Tour de France. It's the one everyone knows about. It's the biggest.
It's the biggest.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't think like we're talking to 2 winners. If you win that, like you get respect because it's always strong fields, tough course, and everything. So I know people who have got ambition to win that and have spent years chasing. I mean, Varjan, who finished second. I mean, a phenomenal athlete. I think maybe that's his second place. He's been at it a long time, so. It really is impressive. Like you can't. Yeah, like I was blown away when I heard that when you crossed the line and I heard the story. I was like that is actually one of the most impressive things I've seen or heard happen for a long time.
Yeah, been getting quite a few comments like that from people.
I mean, it's
awesome.
Yeah, take it because it really is like it. Like it's unheard of. No one. People do. They do the 11. They do the 22. They step up. They've come from a mountain running background. They've come from, it was super impressive.
And Brendan, 2 times winner. You beat him as well. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Beat our runner too, Matt Crean.
Yeah.
And I think wherever he was, he said like you just look so strong out there. And for me, I think I mentioned it before. Like obviously you have got the cycling and the triathlon background. You look strong. You look like a cyclist. So when I saw you, I'm like, man, this guy's going super well. You just looked good, but even like you don't look like a trail runner. You look like sorry, I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as in you looked.
Yeah, like carrying a little bit more weight with me. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think if I'm fit enough to carry it, I think it's actually becomes an advantage and not a disadvantage because it's a little bit more strength later on.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. And I get, and also like obviously the elements are pretty rubbish out there during the weekend. It's nice and cold, and by having a little bit more weight on, did that keep you?
Oh,
I
yeah.
suppose a little bit more warmer and a bit
I was
more
talking about muscle too, by the way.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm not talking about. Yeah, I'm just saying like
Yeah.
bigger people like muscular like tend to like don't suffer from the cold like us weedy folk.
I don't know. I'm
Oh, you're from Dubbo. Yeah, maybe
I'm
you
pretty
did
lean.
suffer.
I do like a warm climate. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I love running in the hot, so I wasn't too. I was a little bit unsure about the weather in Katoomba, so I actually deliberately wore my long sleeve thermal, and I only took it off at the 47K checkpoint.
Yeah,
But if you
I
look at
did
the
see a photo of you out on Iron Pot in the long
photos of me
sleeve. Yeah,
from the start, yeah, I had a long
Yeah.
sleeve on, and I wore that deliberately just to make sure that my body was warm and not cold, and also to intentionally slow me down a little bit for the first half.
Oh, okay.
well, it shows like your experience from your other, your other racing has
Yeah.
carried across, and it does transfer, but it's still amazing. Now, Cecilia, if that was the story after Matthew finished, everyone was like, "Who is this guy?" I heard it was his first trail race. Like, not to, but yeah, like the feedback from you was everyone who saw you on course just said how much you just loved being out there and your smile. And I know Hanny Alston, a legendary Australian runner, she's won the 50 there and podiumed in the 100. And I always remember hearing a talk from her where she said, if you're doing a tough part, smile. Do you just love it out there so much? Is that, were we just seeing you that 100 Ks in the Blue Mountains is just, you're just stoked? And is that a real strength?
Yeah, like I if to describe it, I felt like a cow who has been let out to grass after a winter in the barn. They are amazing when the people let the cows out. They just run and they're so happy, and nothing can stop them. And that's how I felt like. It's amazing. Everything just aligned, like my mind and my body. And yeah, I'm so stoked that because all I basically wanted was or hoped for was a top 5 finish and
nice.
to just have like a good day. I just wanted to have a good day because you never know when you turn up how your body's gonna be. Something can be wrong or you're just a bit low. And everything just aligned. Like it's an amazing feeling. And beautiful nature and all the people, all the runners, like it was just.
Well, I think you like anyone who saw you running would be keen to run. Like that's like when you came past us and it was cold and I was just like, I just feel like going for a run now. Like you're just so happy, and I know that runner's buzz. And we're sometimes when you see someone really suffering in a race, I made I did a post today about a good mate, John O'Loughlin, and he was suffering, and you think, yeah, I probably felt like sitting down having a beer with him, not going for a run. Whereas you, it was that energy was fantastic.
That was
going to be one of my questions. Was going in, what was your goal? So you obviously 12 2 years ago, so top 10 definitely, but top 5 was the aim.
Yeah, because basically I kept it the same because last year obviously it didn't happen, and then my goal was also top 5. I didn't even think who else was gonna be in the race. Like, didn't really care too much. But still, I said top 5. Like that was just what it was. And most important to just have a good day on the.
And you did.
And you, Matthew, what was your first trail run? Was it just finishing it? Was that your goal, or was it being competitive and being there on the podium? Was that?
I'm quite competitive by nature. So I did obviously had like thoughts of just doing the race for fun, but I don't think I could ever stand on the start line and not be there ready to to bring it. If that's
you look like you meant business when you ran past us. So
and what I saw in training before the race, everything that I saw, I knew I was in good shape, and I seemed to be doing some longer sessions, and I was increasing sessions. I was doing like sets of stairs and stuff on a local climb here, and I was increasing the session by like 50%, 2 or 3 times and just feeling better and better and better as it went. So not actually really getting fatigued from it.
Yeah, cool.
And I thought I might actually be on for a decent result here if I can sort of pull it all together.
Yep.
I thought it would be nice to get on the podium. That's what I sort of
Wow, cool,
for. And yeah, so that was pretty much what I was on the start. I try not to think about the end result too much, but I did have pressure on myself. But yeah,
cool.
I like to thrive under pressure a little bit more than.
Yeah.
It used to make me really nervous early in my career, but I've sort of learned to harness that energy and use it rather than to make it just be nervous. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And I suppose you're a long time out, aren't you? So you're at the start line, and nerves are a little bit there, and you got a few butterflies in the stomach. And obviously, how is the atmosphere? Like after such a what are we talking? 12 months of no big events. Was just standing on that start line after?
Yeah.
After that,
really
how
good
good was that?
Like standing next to you, sort of like.
Yep, metre and a half, please.
And I remember like running past, there was like an Aboriginal smoke ceremony about a kilometre into the race.
Yep.
And that sort of really, they were up there and they were playing the didgeridoo, and that sort of really fired me up as well.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Just thinking about how nice the country is around there.
Yep.
And that was sort of where it all began, really.
Oh,
my original plan for the race was to actually pace Jono. Off Jono. Basically, I thought he was the guy that got second in 2019.
Yep.
And I thought, okay, he's going to be like the cool head in the race. So actually, at like 30k into the run, I was 2 steps behind him. I think there's photos of me right behind him. That was my original plan, and then I had to sort of make a decision at 35k into the race that I didn't think he was running the best race.
Yeah.
And then go on my own. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he passed us, didn't he, Aaron? He said, it's been a bit of a tough day in the office.
Yeah.
So he was hurting. Yeah.
But he was my original. He was my wise dog who I was gonna follow.
Yeah. Well, what's he got?
I didn't know how to pace it. Yeah.
I think 11 top 10s and a podium. So
that's why I thought if you're gonna follow anyone.
Yeah.
Follow him, but
yeah. Well, I know Vargin in that field as well. Yeah, I mean, I think he ran a great race too. He's always consistent. Like a lot of people will pace off him because he does a great job. So, and in the ladies, like it was kind of, I mean, a couple of the other Sophie and Sarah, the second and third place, have been there, sort of done that, but put it together on the day as well. So it was just great racing. I think everyone was excited to be back there, and everyone, that energy. But I guess in some ways, the people who've done, Jono, who's done a heap, are pretty relaxed. It feels pretty natural. But for you, stepping up from the Wollongong Park Run through to UTA, I just think it's fantastic that you both had great days on like the biggest trail stage in Australia, which is
the world for 2020.
The world.
Thank you very much. The world, yes.
Yeah, well, you'll be your ranking, and you'll get, like that sort of qualifies you for some other events and all sorts of things. So I don't think I guess leads to our next point.
What's next?
We're celebrating your win, but that's the question, isn't it? Everyone asks what's next. There's going to be race number 2, Matthew, I hope, and Cecilia. Where do you go from here?
I've already planned to do the Brisbane Trail Ultra, the 30k.
So you're there?
Yeah, cool, very good.
Yeah.
So the 30k there would be a good in-betweener, and just something faster, shorter to mix it up.
Yeah.
And maybe Black Hole. Haven't signed up yet, but that's what I'm thinking. And that's
cool.
Plan so far.
And then UTA again next year, or what do? Do you go for the 50 or back to defend your title?
Yeah, well,
Get to number 1.
Would be fun to go back and try to improve my time. That would be it, because I know like there's been faster times. Like, was it 2019? Amy ran it in 11 hours something, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. Can't remember.
Course was different. Course was different. Don't worry about the time. It's always changing.
What's the course actually different?
I think it was slightly different. Yeah, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it was slightly different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what about you, Matthew? As you know, another event. Stick to the trails, or we just keep mixing it up? You know, do a
Well,
road
yeah.
marathon, do a whatever takes your interest.
Well, basically, I've kind of shot myself in the foot a little bit here. If I'd have just finished like 10th or 20th or something, I could have just ticked that box and moved on to the next crazy adventure. But now I've got people telling me I've got to turn up for another race, and yeah, I'd have to come back and try and defend my title next year, of course. And in terms of another race in the future, to be honest, I'm still so green in the sport. I don't really know that many. Like, if besides from like my friends telling me, sending me UTMB videos on Messenger, and watching the Barkley marathons on Netflix.
Yeah.
I don't really have that much experience.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's good. All new and exciting.
Barclay's a bit different, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. That's like a choose your own adventure shenanigans. That thing. That looks like hell on wheels. That thing. But UTMB definitely looks like an event that both you guys should line up for in the future, I reckon.
Yeah, as soon as all the borders open up and it's safe.
Yeah, I mean that's
Labrador Ultra Trail in the Dolomites would that's a La Sportiva event. We'd love to see
in the Dolomites.
Opens.
I think Anton's running in the Dolomites back there. I don't know where he's at.
120 kilometers. Just amazing Dolomites trail. So and I guess we'll wrap it up soon, guys. But it's been fantastic just chatting and hearing your stories. But how, like, other than, I mean, I was, we, like Matthew, had the pleasure of presenting you guys your winning artwork and your medal. And then, like, I contacted you guys because we just thought, we loved your stories. How's the reaction been from family, from friends, from online? I know, Matthew, you said your phone was beeping away, which, you got some guy Aaron Knight following you on Instagram now,
Yeah. If I compared it to like triathlon, the sort of the overall general people, so many more people are familiar with trail running events than triathlon, I would say. So it's been 2 or 3 times more, like 2 or 3 times bigger than comparing to, like, say, Ballarat. Yeah, that's what I found.
That's amazing. I thought triathlon was, I mean, Australia's got a good heritage in triathlon. I mean, we've had a lot of top athletes in the sport, but that's really interesting to know that communities behind it. Yeah,
slightly more of a select group, maybe.
Yeah.
And most people can relate to trail running a little bit more, even just like your park runners and stuff can talk about trail runs on the weekend and stuff like that. But.
Yeah, doing a swim, then getting on the bike and then smashing out a run, that's a bit crazy, I think. Yeah.
I've only done one full, like, not an Ironman, but one triathlon, and like I'm a decent runner and a pretty decent rider, but if you've seen me swim, it was never going to be a career for me.
You're playing tips if you want. No.
I'll get you up on that. Cecilia, how's your reaction been? Is it you're both back at work? You're not jet setting around the world on a publicity tour, but has it been really cool just getting that feedback, and congratulations?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I'm so overwhelmed by all the love and support I've had and people following along during the day. Super happy, and it warms my heart a lot. And it also, especially like the support around Sunshine Coast and the people here that I met, because obviously there's not heaps of people I know here, but it's really nice that so many from the trail running community were following and watching and all cheering for me. And so that's been really nice, like feel kind of part of the family and stuff. So
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Well, that's it. You definitely, if you weren't already, you're certainly part of the trail running community and the UTA family now. I think you're good for a qualifier for next year, Matthew. Don't worry about your Gold Coast
Yeah.
Marathon.
Wave one next year. I
Yeah,
reckon.
Luckily, because my Gold Coast time would have expired by next year.
Oh,
Oh, that was good. Like, I think you're probably good for life now, which is definitely, that's a big part of the sport. And well, we'll see you, Cecilia, at Brisbane Trail Ultra, and Matthew, yeah, come if you wanted some warmth, come up there.
yeah, come on. It's a bit warmer up there, they tell me. So there you go. Yeah.
Get a bit of colour in the cheeks.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. But well, we'll wrap it up. But thanks, guys. Like I really enjoyed meeting you briefly at UTA, and I really appreciate. Well, we appreciate you guys coming on to the podcast and sharing your story. Yeah, we like as the podcast, we've tried to have on people who have got great stories, and the 2 winners of UTA. Like that's doesn't get bigger and better than that. So
exactly.
awesome work.
Thanks, guys. Much appreciated for your time. And once again, congratulations on an awesome run. It was awesome to watch you guys in full flight last weekend. Cool.
Thank you.
Worries.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a great rest of the year, and see you somewhere.
All right.
See ya.
Yes,
Thanks,
see
guys.
you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye bye.